This video will be about partitioning a line segment. All right, here's our first example. It says segment AB has endpoints at -7, -1, and 8, 4 at B. Find a coordinate C that divides segment AB into a ratio of 3 to 2. So I'm explaining this multiple ways, and this is one where I think you can remember it and you can do well with it. But this is our first graph of points, AB. If I had a graph for it, so A is at -7, so that's at -6. Let's say -7 is here. So -7, 1 is about right there. That's coordinate -7, 1. Other coordinates at 8, 4. So that's 6. This would be 7. This would be about 8. They go up 1. Well, here's 4. So those are the endpoints. This is A. This is B. Now connect those dots. All right. So that's what it is. We want to find a point C to divide this up into a ratio of 3 to 2, as in one part being 3 times something, and the other part being twice that length. As in, if you divide this up into 5 pieces, this will get 3 of those pieces, and that will get 2 of those pieces. If that makes sense. So to make the 3 to 2 ratio, like dividing into 5 equal parts, and giving that 3 of those pieces, and give that part 2 of those pieces. So it might be best to think about that as a straight line. So I'm going to redraw it down here. You can draw a line. We'll call this point A, this point B. I'm going to put some C right there. I know the coordinate for A is at -7, -1. I know the point B is at 8, 4. And in this case, it's going to be best to make sure the point with the smallest x coordinate goes on the left. So no matter how to give it to you, the one with the smallest x coordinate should go on the left and make sure everything's in the right place. And this C value is unknown. So it's just xy. So I have any value for the C. So just xy for now. So to actually finish this, I need to find out the length here. That length is really, we call that the change in x. You might see that in physics. Definitely see it in different places in math. It means change in x. That basically means the difference from one x coordinate to the other. And we always find that length by starting on the right and subtracting back. You always start on the right and subtract back to find that length. So it's going to be x take away -7, which basically means x plus 7. That length, that change in x, will be x plus 7. So I want to change in x here. So I'm going to start on the right and subtract back. So this length will be 8 take away x. The x coordinate here is 8, x coordinate there is x. So it's 8 take away x. And that's the difference in x. We also need to know the change in y. So my change in y, I'm going to start here, subtract the y value. So it's going to be y take away -1, which is y plus 1. And then it's going to be 4 take away y. All right, so that's why I changing x and changing y in both of those. Now, hopefully this makes better sense as we go. Basically, I want to know a ratio of this part to the other. It needs to be 3 to 2. So if I put x plus 7 over 8 take away x, that ratio needs to be 3 over 2. So I'm going to take that ratio and solve it for x. Of course, you're going to cross multiply. You just go multiply here, multiply there. So it's 2 to x plus 7 equals to 3 times 8 take away x. And what you're going to do, you're going to distribute into parentheses, making that 2x plus 14. That's equal to 24 take away 3x. So you add 3x both sides. 5x plus 14 equals to 24. Take away 14. So 5x equals to 10. And clearly x has to be 2. You divide by 5x is 2. So I'm taking, that's my x coordinate of the C value, of the C coordinate. So then I want to find the y coordinate in C. So I'm going to take my two ratios for y. I'm going to take this part over the other. So I'm going to make it y plus 1 over 4 take away y. And that should also be 3 over 2. It's a 3 to 2 ratio. So if that's true, I'm going to cross multiply here, making it 2 times y plus 1 equals 3 times 4 take away y. So it's 2y plus 2 equals a 12. Take away 3y after you distribute everything into it. So I'm going to add 3y to both sides. 5y plus 2 equals a 12. And of course subtract 2 and then divide by 5. So 5y equals 10. And y has to be 2. I have to divide by 5, so y would be 2. So the coordinate for C would be at the coordinate 2, 2. So if I drew that point has to be at the coordinate 2, 2. So here it is, 2, 2. Mine's off a little bit. Apparently, should have went down through here, a little lower. But that's the coordinate 2, 2. So apparently, if I divide this up into 5 equal parts, 3 of them will be on this side, and then 2 of them will be on that side, making the ratio of 3 to 2. And that's one way of doing it, and that's the way I suggest you do it. I'm going to give you other ways too, and it may help you understand it. For example, is the way you can do it with just algebra. I'm going to explain that last though. I'm going to give you another one just like this. And I'm going to explain another way with just using the algebra formula. So here's a new example. Oh, if you want to copy any of that as a note, I'll copy it. I'll pause the video and copy it from there. But that's the coordinate for C. All right, but the other aspect of it was, think about it just geometrically. And if I made a triangle here, just to talk about these points, if I know this point C, I can kind of prove that's what it is. And it actually divides it to the ratio of 3 to 2. So if I look at this, if I want to know how far up and over I need to go to get from this point to the other, I basically need to take that coordinate for X. And then I'm going to add however far it gives me 3/5 of the way over, right? Because the whole thing here has to be a 3 to 2 ratio. This got to be 3 to 2. So this got to be 3i the whole 5. So this is 3/5 of the way over. So basically, if I want to take this coordinate and then take that distance along this way, and take 3/5 of that distance, right? So -7 to 8, that distance is 15. So if I take my x coordinate, I take 3/5 of 15. That's going to be -7 plus 3/5 of 15, that is 9. Yeah, because that's going to be 45 over 5, so it's 9. -7 plus 9 is 2. I know my x coordinate should be 2 because that's 3/5 of the way over. And when I find my y coordinate, I would take -1, and then I would add 3/5 of the change in y, right? So you went up here to 4, you're down to -1, so that length is 5. So it's 3/5 of 5. So that gives you -1, that's 15 over 5, that's 3. So you multiply together, you get 3, so that's 2. So the y coordinate is 2. So I know that's the coordinate for it. And that's one way of getting it. That is a formula that allows you to do that. So basically, if you know what that length is, you can do it that way. So I'm going to explain it to you this way again, and explain it to you that way again. You decide which one you actually like doing the most. Here's a new example. All right, so here's a new problem. It says given the point A is here and B is there, find the coordinate P so that AB is partitioned into a ratio of 2 to 1. So let's plot the points A and B. So A is at -3, -2. B is at 6, 1. Let's connect the dots. All right, so I'm going to start with the last one I gave because it might be fresher in your brain anyway. But in the last method, what I explained was if you want to take this segment and partition it in such a way that it's 2 to 3, 2 to 1, I know I need to break it apart in such a way that this length is 2 times and that's 1 times some number. That's 2 to 1. So basically, the point over here, I'm going to take -3. I'm going to add the whole length there is 2. It's 2 parts out of it's 3 whole parts for the whole segment because 2 plus 1 gives you 3. So it's going to be -3 plus 2/3 the whole way over for x. If it's 3 on this side and 6 on that side, that length is 9. So it's 2/3 of 9. So it's -3 plus 2/3 of 9. 2/3 of 9 is 18 over 3, so that's 6. So it's -3 plus 6, which is 3. So I know the x coordinate is +3. The y coordinate, I'm going to take -2, because that's the y value. I'm going to add 2/3, because still it's 2/3 of the way over, of the y change, the change in y. So the change in y is, if it's 1 above and it's 2 below, it's 3. So change in y is 3. So 2/3 of 3. And that gives you -2 plus 2, which is 0. So the coordinate P is at 3, 0. And that's actually a pretty fast way of doing it. The other way I mentioned was, we'd take that segment, put A here, and put B on this end. A was at the coordinate -3, -2. B is at 6, 1. And P is someplace in the middle where it's unknown, xy. And if you want to find out this distance, that change in x would be x take away -3, which is x plus 3. And this part would be 6 take away y. I'm sorry, 6 take away x. And then look on, for the change in y, it'd be y take away -2, which is y plus 2. And then 1 take away y here. So the first ratio will give you x plus 3 over 6 take away x. That should be a 2-to-1 ratio. And you saw that. So it gives you 1 times x plus 3. And then that's equal to 2 times 6 take away x. So 1 times that is just x plus 3. Twice that is 12 take away 2x. Add 2x both sides. Gives you 3x plus 3 to 12. Take away 3. 3x equals 9. So now x has to be 3. Because 3 times 3 gives you 9. And you do the same thing with y. And that will give you y plus 2 over 1 take away y equals to 2 over 1 ratio. So 2 times 1 take away y equals to 1 times y plus 2. So long story short, this is 2 take away 2y equals to y plus 2. Take away y from both sides. 2 take away 3y equals to 2. So -3y equals to 0. So y has to be 0. So it looks like this would give you the right answer every time. And this will give you the right answer every time. You may like this better because it's faster. So I suggest you figure out which one you like the most. We'll close out with one final example just to make sure you're happy with what we just talked about. All right, so here's the example. So it's given a point A is here and B is there. Find the coordinate T so that we partition the segments AB into a 5-to-2 ratio. I'm going to draw it. I'm going to let you pause the video and try it on your own. I'm going to do it as well. So pause the video and give it a shot. If you pause it, you should have drawn a picture up to begin with. I'm going to explain it the way with just without all the equations. So basically I want to divide this up. So it's 5-to-2. So basically I need to find this coordinate so it's 5-to-2 ways over. So I'm going to take -2 and that part is 5/7 of the way over. So -2 plus 5/7 of the whole x change. So the change in x is 6. That's the distance measured is 6. So 5/7 times 6. The change in the y value is going to be 1 plus 5/5 times the change in y. So the change in y is 5 above and it's 1 beneath, so that's 4. That distance is 4. So if I plug that into my calculator, that value is about 2.29. I think it's 2.2857, but 2.29 is good. Instead of writing all those decimals, call that 2.29. The other coordinate is 3.86. So that's the coordinate for the point T. That's all I have. Good luck.